What's up, guys? Day 7 recap. What a day of hockey. My goodness. Let's get into it, everyone. So there were 6 games on tap today. All were elimination games in the qualifying round. And we will start off with the early game between the New York Islanders and the Florida Panthers. The Islanders end up winning big 5-1 and win the series 3-1. And man, oh man, if you guys watch on the Sportsnet broadcast, I believe Brian Burke said something along the lines of a $10 million disaster for Sergei Bobrovsky, and that's exactly what it is. No disrespect to the man, but he's just not performing for the amount he gets paid and all the hype he had before the season. The Panthers just did not perform this whole season, including the qualifying round, and the Islanders are looking good. They are one of the top seeds. Actually, they are the top seed coming out of the East from the qualifying round, as Pittsburgh lost. So they will be playing the Capitals or the Bruins, and to be honest, I could see them beating those two teams. I don't know if I would bet money on them, but I could see them definitely beating both the Bruins and the Caps. So Islander fans, get ready, and Panther fans, yes, you guys had a big shift in who came to your team this year, but I think more is going to have to change because that was not a good performance this year with a lot of expectations. So the Islanders move on to officially participate in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Florida Panthers go home. We get to a game I believe that was really underestimated if we're just looking at entertainment purposes, especially in Canada. Probably a lot of people didn't watch this game as it was going on at the same time with the Habs versus Pens game, but I watched it and it was very, very entertaining. Another overtime game today, the first overtime game, as the Arizona Coyotes beat the Nashville Predators 4-3 and win the series 3-1. And it was a good game. It was back and forth throughout the whole game. 2-0 Arizona to 2-2, then 3-2 Arizona, and with about 30 seconds left, the Nashville Predators tie the game up. I believe it was Philip Forsberg. And yeah, I was like, you know what? With all this momentum, I think Nashville can get it done, and we're going to see a Game 5 here. But no, Arizona, they get it done with a weird sort of tip-in goal. And Arizona moves on, and they are looking pretty good. I don't know if they would beat any of the top 4 teams in the West right now, just judging off this qualification round. But they are looking decent, and for Nashville, a lot of people were saying this is the final year where their contention window is still there, and now I believe it is fully closed for them, as Pekka Rinne totally didn't even play this series. They tried with UC Saros, and he just, not that he failed, but he couldn't get the job done, and their team couldn't get the job done. So I think a lot of changes need to happen in Smashville. So Arizona wins 4-3 in overtime. Oliver Ekman-Larsson putting up 2 points, and the Coyotes move on to the playoffs. Then we start with the first Canadian matchup of the day. The Montreal Canadiens beating the Pittsburgh Penguins 2-0. Arturi Lehkonen putting up 2 huge points, especially that first goal, as the Habs win the series 3-1. I do not know one person before the series started that said Montreal would win. Maybe as a joke, but no, like being for real, everyone chose Pittsburgh, including me. I said Pittsburgh would sweep the Canadiens, and Montreal wins 3-1. What a performance by the Canadiens. They showed so much heart and grit, and they might be unstoppable. Not saying they're cup contenders, obviously, but with the way they're playing, the goalie they have, the heart they have, they're scary out in the East. And it was a 0-0 game throughout, not a lot of shots throughout, but with, I believe, 4 minutes left, Lehkonen off the boards scores into the corner, and they take the lead, and then the empty net by Shea Weber. And Pittsburgh, you guys have lost 9 out of your last 10 playoff games. Even though it doesn't seem like it still seems like the Penguins are cup contenders every year and dominant, but a lot of people, I think, have to go. Obviously not the core. Don't get rid of Letang, Crosby, Malkin, of course. And even Mike Sullivan, I don't know if you get rid of him because I think he's a good coach. I think it's just get rid of the pieces you didn't need to. You get rid of Marlowe. Maybe you get rid of Sheary again. Maybe you get rid of Zucker. And you get some more young talent along with Jake Gensel. So Pittsburgh, loses to the 12th seed. The 5th seed loses to the 12th seed. And the Montreal Canadiens move on. That was a very fun game to watch, nearing the end. And yeah, let's move on. And now we get to the final 3 games of the day. And man, oh man, these games were all very entertaining. I was sitting in front of my TV for all of them, going crazy. We start off with the Chicago Blackhawks beating the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 3-2, and they win the series 3-1. So once again, the 12th seed beats the 5th seed, and Jonathan Toews, Mr. Captain Series, putting up a big 2 points, along with Connor McDavid putting up 2 points. And just because the Oilers only won 1 game this series, don't let it fool you guys. McDavid still carried. I believe he put up 9 points in 4 games. Like, he carried. And no, they don't need help with Alexis Lafreniere. That won't change any. Well, it will, but let's be honest. No one wants to see him with Edmonton. Like, they have had so many first round picks. I will go off if Lafreniere ends up there. What they need to do is they need to change the players. They've changed the coaches. They've changed the GMs a lot. They need to reshuffle the players and build around McDavid, because he is performing, but his team is not at all. So, still a good effort, but Chicago was just too good. And it was a back and forth game. And nearing the end, once before I get into that, Dominic Kubalik, shout out. What a series he's had. He's really put himself on the map. A lot of people were saying who's going to win Calder, Makar, Hughes. I still think it's between those two. But Kubalik is a force. And he is, definitely a top rookie this year. Top 3 without a doubt. And yeah, then we get to the game, back and forth. And then nearing the end, Chicago scores with about, I think 10 minutes left in the third, somewhere along those lines, but or 15 minutes left. And then yeah, we get to the end. Edmonton with lots of pressure. I gotta give it to them for that, but I also gotta give it to Corey Crawford for standing his ground, making unbelievable saves throughout the game. And yeah, the Chicago Blackhawks pull through. The Oilers take a stupid penalty. Who knows if they didn't take that penalty? Maybe they score. But it was a too many men on the ice call, where Koskinen was getting ready to leave his net, so he was going to the bench, but then the puck was coming near him, so he went back. But an Oiler player thought Koskinen was already on the bench, so he went out, and boom, you have 6 players. And that was with about 2:06 to go. So basically it was a Chicago power play till the end of the game, where then the Oilers pulled their goalie, so it was just 5-on-5. And then nearing the very, very end, Darnell Nurse with a great defensive play, keeping it in the zone. Then he gets a shot in the neutral zone in the slot, but he misses the net, and that's the end of the Edmonton Oilers season. And Chicago stays alive and will go on to the playoffs. What a game that was. Then we get to the big game, the game everyone's talking about. Well, at least, in the media. Wow. After watching Game 3, I was like, you know what, Columbus will win this probably 4-2, maybe 3-1, something along those lines, because Toronto's morale will just not be there, and John Tortorella will carry his team with all the momentum they have. And it was like that. It was 2-0, and then Morgan Rielly with a horrible giveaway in the third with only about 5 minutes left, and Columbus score. I think it was Boone Jenner, and it's over. Like, anyone with a mind thinks it is over for sure. And then Leafs score 1, and I even texted my cousin saying comeback, and I sent laughing emojis as a joke, because the Toronto Maple Leafs are known as the team that give up 3-goal leads. Since 2014, 3 or 4 goal leads. They just give up leads, or they have really bad performances. They're just that team. And they came back. No one ever expects them to come back or make a big effort like this. And yeah, they score 1 right away with about 3:50 to go, somewhere along those lines. I think it was Matthews, as he put up a big 3 points today. And then second goal, not too long after, which was huge. John Tavares, what a shot, and he scored with about still 2.5 minutes to go, which was huge. So a lot of time for the Leafs. And then with 30 seconds, I was by myself watching at this point. going crazy, screaming. I was losing my voice. My dog was looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm not even a Leafs fan. But yeah, and then the Leafs score with about 26 seconds to go. Just a crazy, crazy last 3 minutes. And you guys know I'm not a Leafs fan, but if you guys watch my previous videos, I want Canadian teams to advance. So I wanted Toronto to win this game, but I wouldn't be mad just to see the Leaf fans suffer if they lost. But yeah, Toronto ties it up, and then I'm just like, you know what? Knowing the Leafs, Columbus are still going to win in overtime, but not even close. The Leafs dominated overtime, where eventually Austin Matthews scores the winning goal. What a shot to win it. And now that is going to be the game everyone's looking forward to, Sunday night, Game 5. I have no idea who will win. If I had to predict, which is super tough because both teams are kind of inconsistent. If I had to say, I would say the Columbus Blue Jackets just take it 3-2 in overtime, or 3-2. Toronto comes close, but I just have a feeling the Blue Jackets still will take it. And because Tortorella has been leading throughout the series, but the Leafs always end up tying the series, but then Tortorella comes back. Game 1, they're leading, and then it's a tie series, and then the Jackets come back. Then the Leafs tie it again, so I'm thinking the Jackets will come back again and win it 3-2. But yeah, what a game. What an effort by the Leafs. Shameful effort by the Blue Jackets, as they just made that comeback literally yesterday, 3 goals down, and now the Leafs do it the next day. Just, hockey's back, man. This is why it's the best sport in the world. Then we have the final game of the day, and I was even tired. I was like, my throat was hurting after yelling so much. I was kind of hockeyed out, like, oh, I can't go through another game, especially my team. I can't be more nervous. I can't be more stressed. And it was 8 o'clock here. I can't imagine the people on the East Coast who are Canuck fans after watching the Leaf games. But yeah, anyway, what a game this was as well. Markstrom looked very shaky. Actually, before all that, Canucks win 5-4 overtime. What am I saying? Markstrom looks shaky. Let's get to the best part first. Canucks win 5-4 overtime. They win the series. They win a playoff series or a postseason series for the first time since the 2011 Western Conference Final, where they beat the San Jose Sharks. Insane. Quinn Hughes putting up 2 points, and Brodin putting up 2 points as well for the Wild. But yeah, to my point, Markstrom looked a bit shaky, as really Wild shouldn't have scored 4 goals. They should have scored 2 maximum. 2, pretty big mistakes by Markstrom. He actually made a couple mistakes where he would come out the net, clear it, and then the Wild had almost an open net, but luckily he bailed himself out and the team out. But yeah, the Canucks just kept fighting back. 1-0 Wild, and the Canucks come back, and then 2-1 for the Wild, and then 3-1 in the second period. When it was 3-1, I was like, Markstrom's not performing. The offense is doing okay, pretty good actually, but the defense isn't there. So I thought, you know what? I think Wild got this one, but I was optimistic. I said we can still get it, but I just like, I don't know, man. The way it's going, I think it's gonna be the Wild's game to win, or their game to lose, I should say. But then the Canucks just kept coming back. 2 goals in about a minute and a half to tie it up at 3. Then the Wild scored to make it 4-3 with another really bad mistake by Markstrom. And then we get to the whole third period was chance after not chance after chance, just a lot of just free play, not a lot of whistles. The Wild did a good job of defending, and with about 6 or 5 minutes left, I'm like, you know what? I already know how this game's gonna go. It's gonna be a lot of Canucks chances in the last 2 minutes or 1 minute, but they're just not gonna. The Wild aren't gonna budge. Stalock won't let anything in, and boom, Bo Horvat scores with about 5 minutes left, a clear goal in front of the net, and I was like, holy 4-4, let's go. We're probably, it's next goal wins. It's basically overtime at this point. No goals were scored, and then we get to overtime. And the intermission in between overtime, I was like, wow. I was on Twitter, I was seeing tweets, and someone was saying, I haven't felt this Canucks nervousness since like 2012, 2013. And like that's so facts, because when you're nervous for a hockey team or a sports team, it's a different type of nerves. It's just, I don't even know how to explain it, but for all you watching, you probably know. And I was like, well, you know what, this is playoff hockey, let's see what happens. And I was expecting a hard 15-minute overtime, a team scores maybe at the end of the first overtime, and then boom, 11 seconds in, Chris Tanev scores the winning goal to put the Canucks in officially into the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time since 2015, 5 years ago. And man, was I ecstatic. I was so pumped. I did not expect it to be that quick. Just a shot off the point, no tips, nothing, just a good wrist shot. And yeah, like exactly same amount of time as the Alex Burrows goal in 2011, 11 seconds into overtime, and the Canucks move on. Great to see, great day of hockey, and I loved it. Okay, so that was the recap, and now we get on to the MVP of the day. There are obviously a few, people I could choose from. I feel like everyone on the winning teams could have deserved it. Lehkonen could have deserved it. Taves could have definitely deserved it. Austin Matthews definitely could have deserved it. Carey Price, Bolivier. But I ended up giving it to Quinn Hughes just because of the fact that he's the core of the Canucks defense and even the core of the team. He's just getting new stats left, right, and center with rookie stats, Canuck defender stats, and he's really taking over the team. He's becoming a huge factor. He made a mistake today in the game, but he made up with it. He made it up, and he's just a big factor, and he's probably going to be the Calder winner, in my opinion. So that's why he's the MVP of the day, because I feel like without him at the back as the quarterback on the power play and a big defender when there's pressure going on, maybe the Canucks don't win this series. Get on to the headlines, and if I'm being honest, sometimes the headlines I can't really think of three off the top of my head. Today I definitely could. I probably had another 3-4 I could add, but the first one is comeback in all caps, of course. That's the thing everyone's talking about. And Toronto, wow, just so pumped for game 5, what we're gonna see. But what a comeback. It's like irony. They're always the team that's known for losing 3-goal leads or losing big leads, and they finally did it. If you guys know Steve Dangle, he was like, wow, this is what it feels like. And he's been a Leaf fan for like 20 plus years. So yeah, just a flip of the script, and Toronto comes back. And then we get to the second headline, upsets once again, implying that the top seed loses to the worst seed once again. As last year, we have all the top divisional winners losing to the wild card, and this year we have the number 5 seeds in the East and West losing to the number 12 seeds. So obviously Chicago, Edmonton. I said Edmonton in 5, so it wasn't as much of an upset as a lot of people did say Chicago, but still 5 versus 12. And then Montreal, Pittsburgh, huge upset. Props to both teams in Chicago and Montreal though. And the final headline of the day is 5 out of 6 series end. So there were 6 potential elimination games today, and 5 of them all happened, 5 elimination games. So a lot of series ending today, which brings me to my next point. Not a lot of games tomorrow, only 2 games. For the first time in basically since the playoffs started, there's going to be a quiet day for hockey today, or tomorrow I should say, as only 2 games, but both games, man, don't take it lightly. They're round robin games, but both decide first place, which is huge, and all 4 teams have been playing incredibly. So Vegas, Colorado for first place at 12 p.m., Philadelphia, Tampa Bay at 5 p.m. Both should be great games. And then Sunday, we're going to get another 2 round robin games, this time to determine 3rd and 4th for both teams, or for all 4 teams. And then we get Washington, then we get Toronto, Columbus, game 5. But yeah, just a great day of hockey today. Tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit quiet, but expect when those games are on, they're going to be fireworks as well. Alright guys, I think this was a bit of a long video today, but it was well deserved. So thanks guys for watching, and peace out.